Can a U.S. citizen be deported? I'm going to talk about that in this video. My name is Ashley. I'm an immigration attorney. I've been practicing for almost 13 years. I have two office locations, one in Carlsbad, California, and the other in Bend, Oregon. However, my law firm serves clients all over the United States. So let's talk about this question. Can a U.S. citizen be deported? First, we need to talk about how somebody can become a U.S. citizen. Somebody can become a U.S. citizen in different ways. They can be a U.S. citizen by birth in the United States, through the naturalization process, if they were first a green card holder and then they became a naturalized U.S. citizen after meeting certain criteria, or sometimes people can derive citizenship or acquire it through a family member. What's important to know about being a U.S. citizen is that there are only very specific circumstances that can lead to you losing your citizenship. Most commonly, this can happen through the denaturalization process, which would take place if, for example, a U.S. citizen were found to have committed some type of fraud or misrepresentation in the process of becoming a U.S. citizen. So obviously, this is going to apply to a situation where somebody is a naturalized U.S. citizen. Now, this can happen in a civil proceeding, or it can happen in a criminal proceeding. So if the U.S. government finds out that somebody who became a naturalized U.S. citizen lied about something on their application, or they didn't disclose certain information, or after the fact they found out that the person didn't meet the criteria to become a naturalized U.S. citizen in the first place, they can have a civil proceeding against them to basically remove their citizenship, to denaturalize them. If it's a civil proceeding, they have to prove by clear, convincing, and unequivocal evidence that the individual wrongly became a United States citizen because of some type of fraud or misrepresentation. Additionally, a criminal proceeding could take place if, for example, the individual was convicted criminally of fraud relating to their naturalization case. In that scenario, if it's a criminal proceeding, the government has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that that individual committed fraud that led to them receiving their citizenship. Now, something else that's very important to keep in mind on this topic is the different rights that U.S. citizens have versus lawful permanent residents. So, for example, a U.S. citizen cannot be deported merely based on being convicted of a felony, unless that felony relates to fraud in the context of them having received their citizenship through naturalization. So if a U.S. citizen is convicted of any other kind of felony, they cannot be deported for that reason. However, a green card holder, a lawful permanent resident, can be placed into deportation proceedings for being convicted of certain crimes, being convicted of an aggravated felony, which can cover a wide range of crimes, and for being convicted of crimes involving moral turpitude. So there's a lot more risk for a green card holder to be put into deportation proceedings than there is for a U.S. citizen. Additionally, a U.S. citizen can spend as much time as they like abroad outside of the United States. The same is not true for a green card holder. So a U.S. citizen cannot be deported because they have spent a very long time, a year or longer, many years outside of the United States. They are U.S. citizens. A U.S. citizen, they are allowed to live wherever they choose. A lawful permanent resident, however, can have problems if they are spending too much time outside the United States. This can lead immigration to believe that the green card holder has abandoned their green card. So when that green card holder, let's say they've been outside the United States for a year or longer, they are coming back into the country, and when they're going through customs, immigration sees that they have been out for that very long period of time. Immigration can accuse them of having abandoned their residency. And in that scenario, the green card holder can be placed into deportation proceedings and have to fight the case there. Or alternatively, the green card holder can agree to give up their residency in that moment by signing a certain form. So these are just some common scenarios that come up when people are trying to understand what is the difference that comes with being a US citizen versus a green card holder. And as I've explained, yes, it is possible for a US citizen to be denaturalized in very specific circumstances. I've covered the most common circumstance here, which is committing some type of fraud or misrepresentation in the process of becoming a US citizen. There are a couple other circumstances that can lead to denaturalization. Those are not the focus of this video because they happen pretty rarely. If you have any questions about anything that I've discussed in this video, feel free to contact my office. We would love to help you, and like, comment, and subscribe on this video.